Crew team, welcome back to Bonneyville. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I do hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, please click that like. And if you're liking, why not subscribe? And if you're a subscriber already, why not check out some of the other things available on or associated with my channel, such as membership. So where are we, and what have we done since you saw me last? Well, I've I've been through balance wise. So I've been through the routes that we have. You can see the routes that are not really making us an awful lot of money are all the pedestrian routes, and then we have some of the cargo routes. This one is actually probably doing better, but I just added some new wagons to it. So some of these I've added new wagons to. This one as well I've added new wagons to, which is why it's probably not showing as much profit as it possibly could and or will, but it's still showing a profit for now. I haven't replaced this one yet. I mean, to be honest, I probably can. I mean, that's a fairly solid amount of money that we're making. So what have we got here? One, two. I don't know why it does this. It seems to get stuck sometimes when you're selecting. I wish they had a better selection process, to be fair. So 12 of those, and they're all timber trucks, so we'll chuck them on with that, and I think that's probably fine. Yeah, and the rest of them are doing okay. You know, they've been upgraded and they've been running for a little while, and they're all right. And I've just recently upgraded the freight truck, which again is now pulling in $1.5 million. I don't know. So let's have a look at this. So as I'm sure you recall, and I said it was 50-50. We were picking up on the way back. We were picking up 50% timber and 50% bricks. But we need more bricks currently than we need timber. So I don't know the math, honestly. So this is really trial and error. And this goes up in fives, so you can't really do much in the way of very minor selection. So I've got it set at 60-40 at the minute, and it's just going to be trial and error. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that if you have a look at this vehicle, so this vehicle has 17 wagons with 119 capacity. So each of these wagons, which is here, carries 7. So if I wanted this to be an even distribution, how on earth would I work that out? I haven't got a clue. I honestly haven't got a clue. I went and had I could probably, in all reality, if I bought 3 more wagons, that would be 20, and then that would probably be easier to work out because half of 20 obviously is 10, and we could work it from there. So I'll probably wait until I've done that. I think we can do 20 on this one without it going down. I think that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we could do that, and that's 140 capacity, and we're now shifting 20. So in theory, this is where my math falls apart. I'm not so good at this mental arithmetic situation. So if 50%, if each one, if there's 20 of them, each one represents 5%, right? So 10 of them is 50%. 11 of them is 55, so 12. So it should be 12 and 8. So it should be a 12 and 8 distribution in terms of the wagons. And we'll see how that goes. There's quite a bit of stuff here. There's certainly an awful lot of bricks. And there's still quite a fair amount of timber as well, so you probably don't need to worry about that. So that's fine. So I'm going to let that run and do its thing. One of the things I haven't done in a while, and I probably need to, is have a look at what's very bad. Nothing is very bad, probably because I've been through replacing things anyway. I went up here and I added in this additional route, which is now carrying grain over to here, and this is now producing what it needs in terms of food and carrying the food in here. We're still only at 86 out of 103, so we're not exactly meeting the demands just yet. I have an awful lot of grain and an awful lot of trucks. So I could just add more. That wouldn't be a particular issue. I tried adding trucks here, but it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. This won't produce. So this well won't produce. This well is going, full beans, and that's great. But for whatever the situation is, um, you can see that we shipped a little bit, but then nothing. The trucks were just sitting here. This is a commuter, not a cargo vessel. Cargo vessel? Vessels. Nuclear vessels? Anyway, distraction. Long day. Um, yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. So I've left it. I mean, that's fine. I don't need it for now. It is what it is. But everything that we're doing here seems to be sufficient. So we're doing sufficient amount here. We're producing a fair amount. I can't get it to produce more. So I don't know exactly what the whole story behind that is. And this is doing okay at the minute. We could probably do with more, perhaps, trucks coming in, but this is producing fuel. I have added more trucks to the line to get more fuel to Antequera, but doesn't seem to have stacked up just yet. So let's put ourselves on pause. So that's where we are, and we have 8.4 million in the bank. So we're not doing too bad. We're doing okay. There's nothing major problematic going on as far as I can see. I did say I was going to have a look around. I really, really, really want to make steel. And I really, really, really don't know how. There's no simple steel solution on the map right now. I would really like this steel over here somewhere. We have things over here that require steel, and we don't have any kind of steel manufacturing nearby. The nearest steel manufacturer we have is here, which is great. It has the coal mine up here, but no ore. The nearest ore is out here. So if I wanted to, I would have to get ore from all the way up here to all the way down here to this steel mill to make steel. And I don't know how to do that right now. I I would have to. How would we do this in a cost-effective way? Because what do we need up here, realistically speaking? I'm not sure. So if we were sending an ore truck down, he'd have to. Where would we be sending him? Would we send him the whole way by himself? If we were, and he was picking up ore, I mean, he could, in theory, bring steel back, but there's no steel demand up here at the minute. There's nothing up here. The nearest thing that would need steel would be over there. We don't have any need for steel up there whatsoever. We have need for steel over here, which is what it is, I suppose. So I don't know the answer to this steel problem right now. There's a steel plant over here, which is great. There's coal over here, but there's no ore. The ore is all the way up there. We have a steel plant here, which again, we've got coal and ore. We could get to a steel plant here, but it's miles away from anywhere in terms of getting the steel situation. So we're really stuck with the steel problem. If we could, in theory, try and somehow hook something through here we could be delivering steel. Sorry, we could be picking up steel here, and we could be bringing steel down and um, into the hub here, and we could be doing stuff from the hub. But we'd need to be taking something back that would be going to Colmenar Viejo, and I guess that could be tools. Colmenar wants tools. Could we make money from tools? Probably not to start with because it's very small. Um, what is the where's one of my trains? What is the have I got a train? No, I don't. I got rid of the train. Yeah, I did. I got rid of the train sheds. So what is? Let me just have a quick look because I think that tools. Yeah, so tools is a separate wagon. So you'd have to have a box car and a steel wagon, and we'd be mixing and matching the two um, to sort that out. Um, what eventually we could possibly do would be if we were dropping off steel at the hub and a hub train was carrying steel this way, it could be bringing machines back, and those machines could also be going to Columnar Viejo. So maybe I need to get this connected to the steel somehow. It's an awfully long distance by truck, by wagon, I should say. Um, yeah, that's an interesting one. I could, in theory, just run one little train in and out there. It's not That's not the most profitable thing to do with just one little train, but it might be the kind of thing that we do until we get an alternative, really, because I don't know what the alternative is, to be honest. I really don't. We could, yeah. There's we need a return supply, and the return supply that Columnar Viejo needs is tools and machines. So that one might be interesting. I might have to run a little line through here. I say run a little line. It's run a road through a couple of fairly serious passes to connect it up here, to then try and connect up to the steel and get steel manufactured, and then we could have we could have stuff. We've already got logs here. We could even pick up logs, and we could drop logs off there as well. Um, the logs run on the same wagons that steel runs on, I think. Yeah, so steel and logs. So we could in theory do a little bit of something. It's going to be complicated. It's not going to be straightforward. And I need to get steel happening first. So should we do that? Let's do that. I was going to do something else, but you know what? This is actually relatively important. So what do we want to do? Well, the first thing we're going to want is we're going to want a cargo hub on this thing. So we're probably going to want to connect it up. It should, in theory, because there's a road there, etc., etc. This should already hook us up. So we should be able to hook up just there on that corner. I see that it's not quite level with that fence. I just want to. It's also not quite level with the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten the ground out first. So now that we do have a bit of money, in terms of making things look proper from the get-go, what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of money on the right at the very beginning, making everything work, and not have to then go back and fix it. Right, so there you go. So that's sorted that out. Right, here we go. This building thing. I wanted to connect it up to sort of this corner, and I want it to look like it's relatively leveled off. In terms of, it's so hard, this map with the, well, not this map, this game with the snapping. So I think that's it. It does recognize that we're connected, so that's great. We'll probably just use one. We don't need a one-way in and out with this one. I think these ones seems to work okay. However, what I will want to do is I will want to make it bigger. So what I will do is I will go in and I'll make it a little bit longer, and this just gives the wagons a little bit more room to queue up so they don't get in each other's way. So that's probably sufficient. The street access is fine. We can still do that. That's all right. It still says it's connected, which is great. And we already have a thing over here. I haven't tidied this one up, but don't need to tidy it up right now. I can tidy it up later. I haven't tidied up everything on the map. There's a couple little bits and pieces. You don't need to worry about that. Right, here we are. We're just going to use this standard old road. And we've got a few things to go through, which is gonna take us a bit of money, and we're gonna want curves. That's what we're gonna want. Right. Right, go straight through. Straight through there. Got a couple of nice little tunnels. Thank you very much. Next one's going to be slightly bigger, not this one. This one. And we'll just join up. We'll just join up. Right, so there you go. That was an expensive bit of road, but we do have a bit of road. So the road comes through here. We've got this. I don't think, can I do that? I can make that a cut. How does it look? It looks brutal, doesn't it? I don't think that's realistic. That one's a bit more realistic, I think. That one's realistic. This one would never be realistic. Let's have a look at what a cut looks like, just out of interest. No, that's just not realistic at all. Right, so there you go. So we've got that, which is fine. So we need a route, so we'll set up a route. So they're picking up coal here, and they're dropping off coal there. We'll make sure that they can pick up at any location and drop off at any location. I only want them to pick up when they're full. We're just picking up coal and we're unloading whatever it is that we want, and we're not going to be loading anything at that end for now. That's costly. I am aware of that. It is costly because we are just running these trucks one way, long distance, and that's all that they're taking that way. There's nothing to bring back at the minute that is going to help me make money just yet. We could possibly yeah, no, yeah. I mean, in theory, if we ran timber up there and brought, sorry, if we ran logs up there and brought timber back here, we could do something with that. But I don't know what we would do with that. So I don't know. And there's no there's no loop. There's nothing I can see that is going to add extra value for now on that line. So this is we're going to call this the columnar coal trucks, I think is probably what we need to call it. Coal trucks. There you go. So this is the columnar coal trucks. And then we actually have to build a road depot and put some trucks on it. Where's there a cheap place to build a depot, to be honest? We could put a depot right next to it. Look at this. Could we sidle it right up there? And then it looks kind of like it belongs. And then what we can do is try and bring that out there. And it's got that little connection to it. So it now looks like these things are reasonably connected. What are we going to buy? Well, we're going to buy open side or closed side. This will take coal, so okay, let's do it. We probably want at least 20. There you go, 20. See, did that again. It's such a... Don't know why it does that. 20, and they're going to be the columnar coal trucks. Right, so is this working? Yes, it's working. This is already setting up, so it's already pulling out. They're already doing their thing, and they're going to head off. And there's going to be a lot of them, and it's a long journey. And that's that. So we're working on steel. So we're getting steel underway, which is great. Now then, while we're working on steel, we wanted to run a line down to Arrecife, or whatever we want to call it. And we wanted to make something of a little hub connection place down here. Now, if we're going to be running steel down here, it makes sense for this to be sort of out here a little bit, away from the town, which is fine. We can run wagons into the town, but we have all of these businesses nearby, so we can't do anything about this, but maybe we can in the future. It'll probably disappear before we get a chance. We definitely do want steel here. This wood and timber supply, we might want to pick up timber and put it somewhere, or whatever the situation is. We've got logs here. We can always mess around with that and everything else. But I think essentially what we want is we want something sort of down here, and we've got a relatively large-ish flat area down here that we can probably develop. So if we were to do that, we would want a cargo station, I do think. We probably need... We'll just settle with one track for now, but we would want it to be long. And I'd probably want it... I'd probably want it like about there-ish, I think. And then we can put a hub next to it, and we can pull in vehicles going to each of those different locations, possibly. Or do we want to tie it into a particular industry? Do we want it so close to a particular industry? Like, for example, the timber industry. And then we connect the cargo hub to the timber industry, and then we can drop off steel and timber and everything else, and we don't need to run another line. I don't think, honestly, it really super matters that much, does it? You got roads to deal with and things, so I think let's just deal with it as a separate standalone for now. And I want to put it sort of out here-ish. I don't want to be too far away from the city, but that probably doesn't need a lot of terraforming, and it looks pretty reasonable sitting right there. So that's that done, which is fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to do a little bit of terraforming around it. So I'll just make sure that everything around it is relatively flat. More so on this side, because this is the side that we're going to be doing all of the construction and the road work and the everything else on, which is jolly good. So did that actually do anything? It's supposed to have done it. doesn't look like it's flat though, does it? I mean, there's... If you ask me, it doesn't look super flat. There's a sound in my left ear. Right, so, configure. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of these things again. And I'm currently just going with the outside large large stores, as I've kind of indicated. Ooh, now then, it should track out evenly from here. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Can I make you disappear? Thank you. That one, that one, that one. Right, okay, so there we go. So there we've got our massive, great big cargo loading area and everything associated with it, which is hunky-dory. We need one of these. As I've said, probably want to try and plonk it in the middle. Fortunately enough, the icon for the station ends up pretty much in the middle, so this is about the middle. You know, and then the next thing is we need to make sure it's linked. Does that look like it's straight? Kind of does, I hope. So we will do that, and then we will extend this and see. Yes, it is straight. Excellent. That's full length that way. That was 10. That's 10 this way. Right, so that's full length. That's as long as we're going to get with that. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a road along it. So we'll run a road along the full length. At this stage we're using the dirt road. We can always update that at a later date. Just want to try and get it as close as possible but without colliding. And it would be good if we had some snapping, but we don't. That looks pretty good. So this all looks like it's kind of relatively interconnected. Oh, I should probably say I haven't done the entrances and exits, have I? So it won't like me being this close. Yeah, it won't like the road being that close. That's true. I got to do my entrances and exits first. Gotta get my things in the right order. So which one is this? Entrances. So we come in on the right hand side and we go out on the left. So we want stuff. As long as we don't end up crossing over ourselves, I think it's fine. And the game has an interesting habit of picking some interesting routes. So we'll put entrance there, and we'll put an entrance there, and we'll put an entrance about there, and then what we'll do is we'll put an exit there and an exit there. We'll put probably one exit there and one exit there, and then we've got a selection of entrances and exits for things to choose from. We can always put in things like waypoints. If we see lines running into difficulty, we can make sure that we pick the correct entrance and exit, and then they can make sure that they go in the right direction, which is wherever for now. There's obviously this one connection here. We don't have anything like roundabouts at the minute, so what are we going to be sending in here? I'm not sure, but we could be sending in something from over here. We're definitely likely going to be sending something in from over here. And, we may have the requirement for trucks to go down that way as well or somewhere else. So we'll have these two for now. I don't think it'll make a huge difference in terms of getting stuff to Arrecife. So we now have this hub down here, and we just need to connect it up to this hub over here. Now, in doing that, what I want to do at this hub is I want to add in another line, another entire series of tracks, and another platform on this side. So what we will do is we'll go to the cargo buildings again. This is large main open storage, no assets. This is medium open storage, no assets. It's not letting me pick a platform on this side. Why is it not letting me? I just put in a train track. So why would you not let me put in a platform? That's an interesting question. Do I need to go through like a cargo building first? Okay, this is new. This is new. Why are you not letting me connect to that? I definitely did this the right way around. I'm not going crazy. Right. So we have here platforms. Does it need me to put in a cargo platform first? Oh, it does. Yes, you're right. Sorry, my mistake. The cargo platform goes in and then the open storage. But I don't think we need open storage. Right? So I don't think we need open storage. So we've got we've got a new train track right there, which is great. I just want to check here if we got any vehicles going into very bad condition, which we apparently don't, which is also great. And we don't have any lines that are causing me major issues. The columnar coal trucks are not made money yet. That's not a surprise. But the answer to that is no. Right, so we need to fill in tracks. We need to fill in tracks. We've got this convoluted road network, but it's, as you said before, it's easy to change roads. It's less easy to change terrains. So where are we going to go and how are we going to get there? Well, I think we're going to, first off, probably going to want to head off in this direction. It's only 108. Why is it only 108? Because the curve doesn't like that construction. That's 104, which is even less. That's 74 because it's recognizing a curve. Maybe we do, if we were here and we did a turn, it doesn't like doing turns until it knows you have something, so we need to spend a bit of money. It'll do that turn at full speed. Right, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I've already put that there. So, if we connect to that, it's full speed. And then we've already said that we can come across here. Oh, it doesn't like it now. We'll come across here. That's a bit more like, almost like full speed. It's seriously messing with my road. Oh, it's to do with the grade. That's why. That's fine. But it doesn't like, what is it not like? It doesn't like the fact that we're now undercutting the road. And I'm actually okay with that. So what we can actually do is we can actually delete that section of road. And if we come here and we come through this section at 120, which is what we wanted, nice and quick, we now have this cut. So all we need to do is build a road over this cut. Now, it doesn't quite like it in terms of being high enough, but I think if we go up one, it doesn't like that. Up two, So if we go up 2, it desperately wants to put in what I can only describe as an incredibly crazy, ugly bridge that simply doesn't work. Does it not realize that that simply doesn't work? It apparently doesn't. It wants to build that track. That can't possibly be accurate. Is it really going to build that? It really built that. Look at that. It doesn't even really understand that that's a massive problem. What have I got here? I've got a whole raft of different bridges. Oh, this is the crazy bridge guy. Right, that's the crazy bridge mod. That's why that's happening. Um, so if I delete that, there's now this crazy thing here. And I go back to wanting to build a bridge. Is it going to give me a crazy wonky bridge every time? It is, isn't it? I wonder if I were to raise the ground here a little instead, and then try it. Right, we get this funny wonky bridge thing because of this guy's bridge mod. If we put that in, diagonal bridges. It's not, the game does not like diagonal bridges. Bridges are not my favorite things in the world, to be honest. So what we're going to have to do, sorry, is we're going to have to flatten this back out again. So let's flatten that back out again. Thank you very much. What we're simply going to have to do is we're going to have to make the bridge go across straight, as straight as we can. So I think we said what, up 1 or up 2? Up 2. So we're going to go across directly perpendicular. We're going to put in a stone bridge. So we get a relatively simple stone bridge. We're going to delete that section of road, and we're going to do something more akin to bring this in and round, and then bringing it around that way. And this one, we're going to do something similar, but we're going to do that with the road with the trees. So it looks like it's part of the town. Right, so there you go. So that's taken care of that. We now have a little bridge, and it doesn't look utterly crazy. And then what you can do with the terraforming is you can use the smoothie tool, and you can go along the road. Try not to smooth the cut around the, kind of smooth it a little bit. So we'll smooth out that bit a little bit more. But we've got this cut, we've got this bridge, and smooth it on that side. What's this outside arc look like? And smooth it on that side. Right, and that looks like it's something that's relatively normal and possibly meant to be there, which is great. Whew, back to our tracks. Right, tracks. We pretty much want to go in a straight line out this way, and we're going to come right down the outside of Arrecife. That's probably far enough around the outside. We want to try and keep the industry isn't going to get any bigger, so we don't need to worry about that getting in the way. I'm going to try and keep up the speed on the corner, and we're going to head in to the train station, which is over here. That's an interesting thing. I think I did this corner a little bit too. I was aiming for slightly the wrong side. So we'll pull this back a little bit, and I might just start from this side first and head out this way at 120, and then we should hopefully just be able to snap in. Right? There's a little embankment there because there's a little ditch. got this. I don't like this being like that. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna use the smoothie tool, and we're gonna smoothie that bit out. This looks a bit critical. I don't mind it being slightly elevated. That's not a problem, but it didn't look very realistic. Same with that one. Just run over here. Hello. Right. This really probably doesn't look very realistic. So what we'll do is we'll do a bit of smoothie here. And then we'll take the road and we'll run that over. Like that. That looks worse. Can we... Where the heck is this smoothie tool? Can we get this to come up? Not while the road is there. Right, okay, so let's ditch the road. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the road to work. Backwards and forwards, so it looks relatively realistic. Right? Let's try again. That looks a lot more realistic. Right, where were we? Smoothie tool. Yeah, that doesn't look realistic. That's fine. I don't mind cuts. Cuts usually look better. That's okay. That cut is fine. A little bit of a cut. This looks a little bit wonky donkey. Then we come into the cut. We come down here and into the station. Right, so there we go. So we've hooked this up and we've connected this to where it needs to be, which is hunky-dory. So what do we want down here? We want tools and we want fuel. Now, this train, what are you carrying? You're carrying oil and bricks, right? And you are 18 long. So if I wanted you to also carry tools, I would need to give you box cars. And how many bricks are we shifting so far? 1, 2, 3, 6. And that seems to be a fair amount of brick supply that we're getting sorted. So if I was to go out to here and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're still mediocre. So that's fine. So he's only carrying 168. He's only 251 long. So there's probably room for him to grow. So that's fine. So he's now got the capacity to carry tools from here, which, as we know, this would pick it up and that picks it up. So I don't need to add that route for a tools pickup. As soon as I add this route and put a train on it, that's what's going to make the difference. So in order to do that, we need to make sure that we've got somebody delivering tools into the city. And where do we want tools to be? Probably don't want to deliver on a high street. This looks like a reasonably sensible place to put tools. We'll need a separate one for fuel. So we'll do that now. I probably want fuel on this side as well. That seems to cover everything. So we've got 2 cargo stops, which is great. So what we're going to need is we're going to need to put in line manager, and we're going to put in that there's going to be a truck picking up at Arrecife and going over here, and what that's going to be delivering is going to be delivering tools for now, right? So he's gonna need to load if available, because we don't know what the loading structures and things are going to be like, and he's only going to be doing tools. He's only going to drop off, and we're going to call that the Arrecife, obviously, tools trucks. You're kind of getting the hang of my naming convention now, right? And then we're going to do another one, and they're going to pick up in the same place, and they're going to go to the other location. But what they're going to be picking up is they're going to be picking up the refined fuel. We don't have much difference in the way of trucks at the minute, but we will eventually get little tanker trucks. So this will be the Arrecife fuel trucks, right? So there you go. So we've got trucks here that will deliver that. So just so that we make sure that we actually got, so this guy does fuel and this guy does anything. So we'll do just 3 to start with, and we'll put them on the tools line, and that'll be the Arrecife tools trucks. And then what we will do is we'll pick this one, and we'll do 3 of those just for now, just to get started. And we'll put those on the fuel trucks. So now that line exists, and those trucks are going to go out, and that's going to tell everybody that this whole system exists. So then we want to make yet another line. What did we call the other stuff? We called it freight, didn't we? Yeah, Antequera Villa de Cans freight. So we're going to do a new line. It's going to be Antequera. It's not going to be that line, but we'll put this in. It probably should eventually make its own decision on that one. Yeah, that's fine. It's understood that. Again, we're going to be carrying a mix of things, so we'll load if available. And he's going to be picking up here. He is going to be picking up fuel and tools. They're different types of wagons, so the 100% won't conflict. I don't think, right? I don't think they'll conflict. And then at the other end, he'll unload it. And this will be the Antequera Arrecife freight. Was one for now, right? So then what we need to do, ideally, is put a train on this. So let's put a train on this and see what it ultimately ends up looking like. So here we go. What do we want? Well, we said the Baldwin seemed to make money, so let's run with the Baldwin. We need to be bringing tools down here, and we need to be bringing fuel. We don't know how much for right now. I know we've put 6 wagons on at the other end. We'll put 3 for now, and 3 for now, right? And we'll see how we go. We're at 2.2 million, so we're just shy. It should come up. What I'll do is I'll speed up time and I'll wait. I'm pretty sure we'll get to 2.2 million in no time at all. Obviously, we just spent a bucket load of money, which it's just, again, about 8 million-ish was what we figured, and it's turned out to be roughly the same. I had to spend a bit of money earlier on the line that we're doing to get steel production underway, which is not necessarily driven by profit at this stage as much as necessity. I want to get that process started. So that when we actually do get a connection up and running, that we should be able to, quote unquote, hit the ground running. So there we go. So that's our train, and our train is going to the Antequera Arrecife Freight 1. So what is happening here now? Let's see. Um, what's he doing here? He's just waiting. This should ideally... Yep, there you go. So now we've got tools cropping up somewhere. I don't see the... There it is. It's one little box. So it's started. So we're going to be picking up tools now. So that's fine. So it's now recognized that there's something going on. And we now have our little Baldwin streaking off across the countryside in the vague hope that he's also going to pick up fuel over here somewhere. Um, oh, we haven't put in a fuel supply line. That's right. So the one thing we don't have yet, sorry, is we're not supplying fuel to the hub. So we need to supply fuel to this hub for it to get to the train station. You're absolutely correct. You were obviously calling out and saying, "Mate, you need some fuel, mate." So there to there is what we want. And at Lower Antiquera, well, you can pick up anywhere, and you're only going to pick up full from there for sure. And you're going to pick up fuel, and you're going to drop it off. Seeing as they're actually doing that while they're actually over here, they may as well. No, I don't want them to. I don't want them to get blocked, but they may as well pick up this product because we seem to have a storage of it, and then they will take it back. And that's the like Antiquera Fuel Trucks 2 or something is what that's going to be. So Antiquera, we'll call these the Antiquera Hub Fuel Trucks. Right, so we'll do that. And then what I'll do is I'll need some fuel trucks. 6 to start with. Right? So they'll start shifting fuel. So yeah, so that's fine. This little train though, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him because when he gets in here, is there actually going to be anything for him to pick up? Not yet. So I just need to make sure when he actually comes into the hub that I grab him and stop him, or before he gets to his load stage, because it would actually be useful if he could wait until he gets something. I don't want him to wait forever at this stage, but I do want him to wait at least a little bit. So he's coming in now. We'll just wait for him to clear the road. Right, so I've stopped him now. He's going to just be burning me money while he's waiting there. But we've got this guy coming back. He has picked up 2 tools. Yay! My Antiquera Hub fuel trucks. I don't know if anybody's loaded. Let's have a look. Antiquera Hub fuel trucks. It'll be one that isn't making me money yet. Antiquera Hub fuel trucks. Nobody is carrying any fuel whatsoever yet. Why is that? This is not producing fuel yet for my Antiquera Hub. So why? This guy, let me check. Just check. Antiquera. He's definitely picking up fuel, and he's picking up tools, and he's unloading fuel, and he's unloading tools, and we have down here we have fuel trucks who are picking up fuel and dropping off fuel, and they are the right kind of trucks. They are the right kind of trucks, and they're going to somewhere that actually wants fuel. They are, so that's good. So why is this guy not producing me fuel? Sometimes it's to do with demand numbers. So the demand at Antiquera is an awful lot higher. Anyway, I've gas bagged through an entire hour of this. So I will carry on watching this, and I will get this running in your absence. There'll be a couple of tweaks somewhere along the line, I'm sure. But that's the plan, and you know, whatever it is to get it fixed and get it working, I'll get it fixed and I'll get it working, and it'll be working fine. You can already see that this guy is now starting to pick up a little bit. We've now got 20 tools, so it's a slow start, but it will get there. So we've got the tools going. When he comes back with the next load and drops it off, I'll set the train running, and I'll just let it run from then on while I try and figure out what's going on with the fuel trucks over to the hub. There are an awful lot of trucks running through here. It's causing a bit of a problem, as you can see. So I'm going to have to put in a bridge here and do something about getting these trucks past these two lines, because it's now causing a bit of an issue. So I'll have to go and do that. But otherwise, that's it. This is hub number 3. And this stuff is now coming in here. No, it's not. It's not coming in here at all. Is that because they still haven't arrived yet? Is this the first of my ore trucks arriving? No, there's another one, right? So that is coming in, and that is going into storage, and then eventually we'll be able to pick up steel and bring steel down here as well. So tools, I'll need to set up a hub up here, and we'll set that up for steel, and we'll set it up for tools, and then we'll have to get that one running, and get steel all the way back down here into the hub, so that we can get the steel to the machines factories, and we can start producing machines, and then the machines can go all the way back to Columnar, and then we've got a main hub connection for cargo running up and down the riverside. And then we can talk about what we're going to do about the food situation, how we feed that into the network. Right? So there you go. So we're expanding, we're getting there. There's things to be done. There's always little tweaks and little bits and pieces coming along, but we're working on it. We'll get this stuff all rattling along and moving, and make sure that everything's ticking along. And we'll see how far we can get, shall we? And how much money we can make. It's only 1875, so we're doing better. Touch wood, I would say we're doing better now than we've done on the other maps by following this kind of methodology. So we do seem to be doing pretty well, and I'm quite happy about that. And obviously I have to go through and do all of my routine maintenance and everything else. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying it. You know, it's interesting. It's always fascinating, this logistical stuff. It's challenging, making sure that you've got everything tied in together, but you know, it is jolly good fun. I'm liking it. If you're liking it, why not hit that like button? And if you're liking, why not subscribe? And if you're a subscriber, why not check out all the other benefits that my channel can offer, such as membership, such as the Patreon, and such as some fun things in the merch store. And if you particularly like this one, feel free to drop in a super thanks. That would be super. Thanks. Until I get time to see you again next time, ta-ta for now.